Welcome! In this video, I'll walk you through every step of a DIY washer machine installation so you can decide if this is a project you want to take on and save money on delivery, installation, and haul-away fees. You'll learn how to disconnect your old washer machine and, if needed, how to remove your laundry room door. I'll also show you how I use a hand truck to move the old washer out and, of course, bring the new washer into the house and into the laundry room. We'll go step by step through reconnecting and installing the new washer like a pro. There are quite a few steps, but if you're planning to tackle this project, watching the full process will help you build the confidence to get it done smoothly. We'll wrap things up by leveling the new washer, checking for water leaks at the water hoses and drain discharge hose, reinstalling the laundry room door, and going over how to dispose your old washer without paying the haul-away fees. Finally, I'll break down exactly how much money I save by DIYing my install. Let's go!
What the heck is going on?
Now that intro was just for fun. The bearings were going bad on my washer and getting louder and louder for months. I wasted my money because I bought new ones, but couldn't get to that project until it got so bad I could smell a burning smell and figured they were going to be seized in the drum, so I had no choice to throw in the towel and buy a new washer. You snooze, you lose. I stuck with the same LG washer. My last one lasted about 12 years, so I figured, unfortunately, these days, that's pretty good. Best Buy had it on sale for about what I probably paid for the original one at full price, though I actually never pay full price for anything. And I had $200 in gift cards from birthdays and Christmas gifts from my mom, so that eased the pain. Thanks, Mom. Okay, so off to Best Buy. Now, one of the things that makes this possible to DIY is that I have access to a truck at no cost to me, and I pull into the curbside pickup. You're going to see now how they bring it right out to you without having to go into the store. You check in right through the app and it gives you a number that you show the Best Buy associate. They use a hydraulic table lift cart and it brings it right up to your tailgate, and then I jumped in the bed and slid it all the way to the front and tied it down with a rope. You're not supposed to put a washer machine on its side, so a normal size van is no good for transport. Now to get something heavy down from your tailgate, you use a hand truck and you pull it off the tailgate using the frame to hold it as you let it slide gently down to the nose plate. My wife was nervous I was going to drop her new washer and came out to help. I next hand trucked the washer into the garage for unpacking. A hand truck is another tool you will need before considering to DIY this project. Next, I use my utility knife and cut the plastic wrap open and unwrap it. Then I remove the cardboard top and the styrofoam protecting the corners. Now it's tricky to lift it off the foam base. You have to lift it up with your hand truck because it has a part of the styrofoam that sticks up to support the drum. Some models even have a plastic drum support, so you have to make sure it comes off with the base. Next, I prep the laundry room. I move a step stool we store between the washer and utility sink and lift up the runner rug and move it out of the way. Now I can wiggle out the washer. I realize I want to give it a quick vacuum so I can work neat, so I go ahead and grab it real quick. This only takes a minute and I just don't want to spread the dust everywhere. So now we can disconnect it. I start with unplugging it and then I go ahead and turn the water off. Now since my house has CPVC pipes, I hold the valve or hose with my fingers or second hand as I turn to lessen the strain on the pipes. So if you have CPVC pipes, do the same. Brace it with one hand as you turn the handle on the valve with the other hand. I cut the cable tie holding the drain hose in place and then pull it out of the washer machine outlet box drain hole. I next unscrew the water hoses from the back of the washer machine water inlets with my channel lock pliers. They're not on really tight, but the pliers make it easy. A quarter turn and they're loose, and you can unscrew it the rest of the way by hand. There's a clip for the drain hose on the back I clip it to. The other hoses you can see I have draped in the utility sink I will unscrew soon and replace them with new ones. I move the rug by the front door so it doesn't get caught up in the hand truck wheels. Then I tape the power cord to the top of the washer to keep it from hanging down and getting in the way. Alright, it's ready to go, but I hit a small problem. It's right here. If you paid for the installation, they will tell you, it doesn't fit. And you would tell them, well, how did it get in there? I'm not going to scratch my door frame or door squeezing through it. So I go ahead and put it back down and my brain is computing, did I remove this door last time? And concludes, you must have, go get your tools. Now if you did pay for the install fee, but have a small laundry room like me, you could of course remove the door before they get there and still have them do all the rest. Nothing wrong with that. So after taking out the hinge screws and moving the door to the side, I'm ready for attempt number 2. It's still a tight fit, but I carefully get it through. You can see without a hand truck, you cannot attempt this DIY project. It's just one of those items you need to purchase in life, for when you need it, you have it. So I get the old washer out of the house and leave it in the driveway for now. I'll show you soon how I get rid of it and save on the $50 haul-away fee. Now I scoop up the new washer on the same side I removed the old one, so I end up not having to reposition it. My hand truck is made for climbing stairs, so it pops up easily into the porch and house with a hard pull. I pirouette it in the foyer, so now I'm in the right position to drop it into the laundry room. After working it around the corner, it fit through the door frame easier than the old one, and I carefully drop it. Yes, I pulled that off and shut the front door. Let's talk about new hoses. Now there are steam dryer kits, cheaper rubber hoses, but I need and use these braided stainless steel washer machine supply lines, and I personally recommend always changing them when you install a new washer. They were included in the Best Buy install fee. I'll break down all that at the end of the video, and you'll see what I saved by DIYing. I get them out of the packaging, but next we need to remove the shipping bolts. Now I always go through the installation manual even after years of installing my own appliances. Most people won't even realize or know they have to take out these shipping bolt assemblies when installing a new washer. Now if you have a ratchet set, use that. It took a 12mm for mine, and you simply unscrew them, making sure that the bolts and retainers come out. You just need to wiggle them slightly while pulling them out. The directions say to start with the bottom ones. This bottom right one has a clip for securing the electrical cord. Now there is a wrench included with the washer I'll show you soon. You can use that if you don't have a ratchet set, but it takes much longer to unscrew the 4 bolts. Okay, next I unscrew the water hoses from the valves. I'm still being mindful I'm working with CPVC and hold the valves as I loosen, so I don't put excessive pressure on the pipe, and just like on the back of the washer machine, after a quarter turn, you can unscrew them by hand. Mine have a slight drip after closing, looks like a future YouTube video one day. Okay, next I scooch the washer a little closer to the wall because I need to open the door to pull out the included accessories. I guess I could have done this before moving it into position, but the tape was already on the door and I didn't want to mess with it. So after peeling it off and opening the door, I reach in and pull out the packaging holding the included accessories. We will unpack it next, and I'll show you what's in here. And don't forget the elbow bracket for the drain hose. I use my utility knife to slice it open. Okay, what's in here is the wrench that you could use to unscrew those shipping bolt assemblies I mentioned earlier, but it's also used for leveling the washer, we will do soon. A zip tie strap to hold the drain hose, non-skid pads in case you need them, and these 4 hole caps we will install next. Let's go do it. These are easy to install. You push them on and they clip over the spots where you remove the shipping bolt assemblies. You're supposed to keep those in case you ever need to relocate the washer, so you can unclip these and reinstall the bolt assemblies before shipping. I next undo this little twist tie. It's holding this part of the power cord and drain hose during shipping. Now this is how you install the elbow bracket. You just clip the end of the hose into it, and then it wraps around and you clip it in at the other end of the bracket. Read the instructions carefully because there are a lot of requirements for connecting the drain hose properly, especially if it's not as straightforward as mine in a washer machine outlet box. Okay, next I wiggle the washer closer to the wall. I test fit it. It is good, so I feed the tie strap through the hole at the top of the bracket and secure it to the water valve nearest to the drain hole. This is in the instructions for my house's setup, and this will prevent the hose from popping out, flooding the laundry room. Now the hoses have rubber gaskets, so don't use Teflon tape or thread sealant, and you don't need to crank them down, just enough to compress the gaskets, not crushing them. I cut off the extra tie strap and also hook up the right color hoses to the valves. Cold should be on the right and hot on the left, but not always. And again, brace the valve with one hand while you're tightening with the other hand, especially with CPVC. On the back of the washer, the hot and cold water inlets are labeled. The hoses are easy to tell apart too. They have red or blue spiral stripes so you won't mix them up. I also have a video on my channel showing how to remove and clean these inlet valve filters and screens. If those get clogged, it can restrict water flow, straining components. So if you ever hear loud noises or notice the hoses shaking during the fill cycle, I'll link that video at the end so you know exactly what to do. And again, you don't need to crank this down super tight. So check this out. I got everything hooked up in a way it shouldn't get kinked. So I start wiggling the washer back and forth, pushing it to the wall. Notice I'm not putting my knee on the door. Also be careful pushing on the top left detergent drawer. So now that I'm closer to the wall, I take a peek behind, checking everything out. Everything is still looking good, nothing is tangled up, so I wiggle it even closer to the wall. I just give it small pushes on the corners, sliding it in. I check everything out again. It only takes a second to keep checking, so just keep looking, making sure nothing's getting pinched, strained, or crushed. And now I wiggle it into its final position, making it even with the dryer. All that's left is getting power to it, so I tuck the cord behind the washer, work it around the drain hose, and plug it in. Guess what we're gonna do next? That's right, one final check. I can only push it back so far since this laundry setup is crammed into a tight hallway to the garage. I plan on putting a countertop and cabinets over this washer and dryer, so look out for that future video. Next, I turn it on real quick, then back off, just to make sure it works before I keep going. Then I go ahead and turn the water back on, continuing to hold the hose with one hand and the valve with the other. Let's level the washer next. So from left to right, I either need to lower the left side or raise the right side. But I don't make any adjustments until you see how it is from front to back. Looks like we're nice and level that way, so I don't want to mess with this right side. I'll just lower the left side. Now before I show you how to do that, I want to put the runner rug back because I'm going to be on my hands and knees and it's softer than tile floor. Now to lower the left side, I screw it clockwise. This brings the foot up, lowering it on this side. Then you tighten this upper lock nut so it stays fixed in its position, but I didn't need to, it was already bottomed out. Okay, now that we made our adjustment, let's check for level. We're looking good left to right now. Then I check front to back, and that hasn't moved. If you have a slippery surface for your flooring, you can add non-skid pads first on the front feet before leveling. But we're looking perfect. Let's check for leaks. So I powered it on. The options are exactly the same as our other LG, so everything is familiar. I noticed plastic over the cycle selector knob, so I peel it off, select speed wash, and press the start button to begin the cycle. Now as the water fills, I check for any leaks. I like to actually touch around the connections. Even if you have the smallest leak, you'll feel it, but you might not see it. Don't forget the connections behind the washer. I like how these supply lines have a solid brass 90 connector. My other hoses didn't. They were straight on both ends. So it looks like everything is checking out. I don't feel any leaks. The last thing I want to check back here is during the drain cycle. You're just making sure it's secure as the water is discharging, especially if your application is draining in a standpipe or utility sink. Let me show you how to put the door back on in case you had to do that too. Now my door is 32 inches, but with the door still installed, the opening from the door to the door frame is only 30 inches. I'm going to use this air shim to help me lift the door into position to align the hinges. You just stick it under the door and inflate it until you get your first screw started, then all the rest are easy from there. Having the perfect tool makes things simpler, but you can use paint sticks, things like that to lift it up. Now without the door installed, from the door frame to the door frame, it was only 31.5 inches, which gave me just enough to get the old washer out and the new one in without scratching anything up. I hope that information helps if you have a similar setup. And I put the final screws in. I like to lessen the torque by dialing down the clutch on my drill so I don't strip out these small wood screws. But that's it, you just push the button to deflate the air shim, and it's that easy to remove and then reinstall a door. Every DIYer should learn how. It really helps with moving furniture in and out of the rooms too. Now this is the next week, and because I also have access to a van, I use that instead of the truck to bring the old washer to the dumps. It's not as high up and easier to slide right in. I never pay the haul away fee. You just bring a printout of your paid property taxes and your driver's license, and it doesn't cost anything to dispose things properly at your local solid waste facility. Now a breakdown of what I saved by DIYing my install. The $50 is a no-brainer for me. But I gotta tell you guys, if I would have looked at this more carefully, it breaks down to only $40 more to have it delivered and installed because I didn't notice the hoses were included in this price. Best Buy was running a discount on the installation services. So that $77.98 is including the cost of the hoses I bought anyways. For $40, I could have had it delivered and installed. I just would have had to remove the door, which as you saw was really easy. So if your store is running a discount or deal like Best Buy was, I wouldn't take the chance that you might mishandle the washer during the pickup and delivery. You don't have to spend time going to pick up the hoses, and just go ahead and watch them install it for you and spend the $40. Now if the store you purchased your washer at isn't running a deal and you're going to save the $77 or more and you have access to a truck, that's where as a DIYer it might be worth it to do the pickup and install yourself. Now in the end, I'm happy I saved $40. I'll DIY anything to save any kind of money. Now if you're moving from one house to another and you were watching this video for that kind of reason or something else similar, I hope my video helped. Please remember to hit the thumbs up if you like this video, and be sure to subscribe to watch more home DIY videos just like this one. Put any questions in the comments and maybe I can help you with your project. Click on any of the links on the screen to check out my other home DIY videos. One, I show you how to troubleshoot a solution for your washer machine making annoying, vibrating, and knocking noises during the water fill cycle by cleaning your inlet valve filter and screen. The other is an appliance installation playlist where I walk you through how to install a microwave and a dishwasher. Thanks for watching and keep DIYing. Bye now.